come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Yeah. Don't you come back no more. Oh, woman, don't you treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I ever have seen. I guess if you say so, I just pack my bags and go. That's right. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. There it is, guys. See ya.
I do not freebase cocaine.
All right. I like to use, AI. Like I just use Google's AI since I already got, everything is set up for Google anyway. And I usually mostly use it just to help shopping. Trying to, decide which product is better for me, based on certain things that maybe I can't really find just by looking at product description or whatever, or sometimes it has information that I can't really discern myself, so I just kind of go to it. But then every once in a while, I get kind of a like a real kind of existential kind of question for it. I just want to see what he'll say. And well, let's talk about the Coward Center. The Coward Center is supposedly this place where people who are neuroabnormal can get assistance, and well, there's kind of a problem with how they do that. I mean, it really is. I mean, it's just kind of like how much money do we pay for this? And y'all want more? And I'm like, put money into something that's already kind of failing its clients. Has that ever actually worked? No, not really. Here's the last question I asked Google AI, and I'll give you its response. And I said, I can't remember what was the last question before this. Let's see what the last. Okay. And at the end, I need to try to remember to ask it about neuroaffirming care. Okay, here's what I told Google AI. Life has become immeasurably better since I've been forced to stop taking it seriously. But that's still not enough to make accepted the Coward Center's incompetent and cowardly policies, and it not greatly upset me. And here's what Google said. That shift, deciding to stop taking a broken system seriously, is often the only way to protect your own mental health when you're forced to rely on quote-unquote experts who clearly aren't. There is a certain power in quote-unquote detaching and seeing the Coward Center for what it is, a risk-averse bureaucracy rather than a true support system. However, quote-unquote Coward Center policies still create real-world friction. Even if you don't respect them, you still have to deal with the consequences of their incompetence, like the isolation caused by the refusal to facilitate social groups, the wasted time spent dealing with staff who don't understand your needs, the frustration of seeing funding that should be helping you get swallowed up by administrative safety measures. Safety. Not for them, not for me, for them. Their safety measures are just for them. That's all it's for. It's they feel safe. Like they don't have to worry about, any litigation, and they can just kind of, go about their day willy-nilly, without having to worry about, are we going to get sued? I mean, because they don't even allow a situation where that could even be a question. It's one thing to, quote-unquote, stop taking it seriously, end quote, intellectually, but it's another to live in the vacuum they leave behind. Since they refuse to create social opportunities because they are, quote-unquote, scared of liability, it effectively places you in a social, quote-unquote, waiting room that never ends. When you say it's not enough to make accepting it, okay, you are reaching a point where you want to officially challenge their refusal to provide social facilitation in your ISP. Or are you just looking for ways to bypass them entirely to find the community they refuse to build? And that's kind of the question I present to them. Is it's like, it's too much, it's too much of a liability risk, in their eyes, to actually facilitate anything. Well, whatever you want to do, we'll assist you with it. Okay, let's go to a titty bar. Well, I mean, we can't do that. It's like, all right, well, don't say anything then. Is that an unreasonable request? Well, it depends on what kind of pervert, you expect me or you to be. But don't say, okay, let's go to that gay bar, Let's go to that gay bar you were telling me about. Well, no, we can't do it where there's alcohol there. And it's kind of like, I don't drink. So I'm not actually, I'm going to somewhere where they will be drinking, but I won't be the one drinking. So what does that have to do with anything? It's kind of like, that's the thing is because they do nothing to actually help with the situation. They're just like, they leave the question to me. And I don't understand why I even have a question. Like, shouldn't y'all have some way of helping to provide some sort of social, interactions of some sort of, nothing. No. Here's the thing. I can't even go to a group there. You know why? Because the Coward Center is so chicken-shitly that they have to pre-screen and vet who can go to group, because they don't want someone that goes in there like me. Because that's the thing, you don't want me to go. I know they don't want me to go. They may not specifically know that yet, although they probably do. My reputation tends to precede me, but they kind of if they didn't already know, they'd figure out real quick in our little meeting I'd have to have, because that's the thing, I have to meet with my person, that's my representative, my employee that they gave me that doesn't do a fucking thing. And then, the person who runs the group has to sit down and have this three-way, fucking gangbang on me, where they figure out whether I'm going to be a problem, whether I'm going to, I don't know, steal their group from them, which is actually what I intended to do. I didn't ever once ask to go to group. Never once. And then they mentioned it to me, and I was like, I'm going to turn it down for now. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and pick my moment. And then try, attempt it. At least attempt it in theory. Because I know there's going to be a catch. I know there's no fucking way there's not going to be a catch. And sure enough, I have to be approved first. It was not an approval. It's just to see, so you want to ask me a bunch of questions to see how you want to manipulate me in therapy to make me think that I'm not upset? Okay, good luck with that shit. You do know we're all autistic, right? Y'all claim to be experts in this shit? Oh, God, y'all fucking... Y'all aren't neurotypicals. Y'all are neurosimples. But let's start off where the beginning was, because that was where I left off. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking great. I was like, we'll leave it at that for right now. And we'll start from the beginning where it was I started at. Three biggest challenges that people with autism spectrum disorder deal with. That's just my question to Google AI. Well, every individual on the autism spectrum is different, which is true. The three biggest core challenges typically revolve around social communication, repetitive behaviors, flexibility, and sensory processing. Yeah. That's pretty. I mean, if you want to generalize it, that's pretty accurate. Beyond these diagnostic traits, individuals also face significant secondary challenges such as mental health struggles and societal barriers like employment. Yeah, I gave up on that. Yeah, I'm on permanent disability. Let's see. Social communication interaction. This is often considered the most pervasive daily challenge for people with autism. Reading social cues, difficulty interpreting nonverbal communication such as facial expressions, body language, tone of voice, or sarcasm. Conversation flow. Challenges with the give and take of social interactions, which can make it hard to initiate conversations or understand when it is their turn to speak. building relationships. Difficulty understanding unwritten social rules often lead to social isolation or trouble maintaining long-term friendships. Now, here's the thing. Google AI has really surprised me because I figure that, any kind of artificial intelligence, would probably be difficult, to really get, such truly accurate, detailed answers. You see, I already know fucking answer to the question. Is the question, do they know the answer to the question? So this is me kind of like testing the waters to see if it's even worth trying, to proceed any further. Rigidity and resistance to change. Now, that's a big thing. Rigidity and resistance to change. And that yet they want to assist us to go and interact, socially, but yet give us no ideas, really. I mean, other than just the most ridiculous ones, not ones where I actually go interact with other people. Like they have that. They'll get into that later. Reliance on routine. Small unexpected changes in a schedule, such as a different route to school or a last-minute meeting. Yeah, I don't like that shit either. Can cause extreme distress or meltdowns. Yeah, they are already terrified the fuck out of them over that shit when they kept wanting me to meet them. Oh, at their office. Yeah, I don't like your office. I like my office. My office, I'm the fuck one in charge. Your office, I don't know. I always wanted some fucking room in the windows and two fucking people talking to me. I don't like that shit at all. Focus interest. While intense focus on specific topics can be a strength, it can also become a barrier if it interferes with daily functioning or limits social engagement with others. Repetitive behaviors. Engaging in repetitive physical movements like stimming or speech patterns, echolalia, or like me where I curse like a drunken fucking sailor, is common and often used for self-soothing. Sensory processing differences, hypersensitivity, hyposensitivity, sensory overload. Some of these I'm just going to kind of skip. I'm going to give you the main thing, but I'm not going to necessarily get into it. Significant secondary challenges, mental health, employment barriers, executive functioning. Struggle. Here, I'll explain it. Struggles with planning, organizing, or managing time can make independent daily living tasks like cooking or paying bills significantly more difficult. Now, let me explain something, Coward Center. This is a fucking AI program, and it has more fucking common sense than y'all do. Y'all went to school. This is the thing. That's why they don't want me to go to group, because the group will just be like, and that's the thing is I've been asked multiple times, did you come here to start a cult? And it's like, no, but I'm thinking about it, motherfuckers. Y'all keep giving me that fucking idea, I might. I mean, seriously, it's apparently it's not hard around here. I mean, that's what y'all are doing. Y'all are just upset because y'all know that if I compete with your cult, my cult will win. Like cooking, paying bills significantly more difficult. Would you like more information on specific strategies to support these challenges, or perhaps more detail on how these traits appear in adults versus children? No. We'll move to the next question. Why does the Coward Center refuse to do anything that may actually help their autistic clients? Here we go. It is understandably frustrating when a major service provider doesn't seem to be meeting the needs of its clients. While the Coward Center identifies as a critical partner for the community, recent reports from local news and community feedback suggest several systemic reasons why their services for autistic clients may feel ineffective or insufficient. Boy, that's understating it. And the fact that they refuse to actually comprehend or accept reality because, well, it contradicts with their most effective funding model. I mean, that's the thing. It's about you collecting more funds. But the problem is that the way that you collect funds not only does not help us, it probably causes more harm than helps. And of course, they don't want to say that, to the parents, of the people that or the loved ones or the family or whatever. It's like, I'm an adult and I'm a dick. Thank God I'm a dick. Because a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are just young kids, even just young children. And not only do they not try to actually create a better life for them, they actually make them think they are the problem. That with enough effort they can be cured. Their therapy, which is just hilarious, because it's kind of become known that no, therapy does not ease or cure autism. Especially not in the way where y'all do it, where y'all actually think that we have to find a way. Here's the thing. The masking is considered the thing that's one of the long-term most emotionally and psychologically damaging for us, is that we have to live a life of constant masking. Well, they teach you how to mask better, so that you basically just cause yourself more mental, emotional harm in the long run. You don't believe me? Look it up. And instead of doing anything that would actually help facilitate them living a better life with the community, because that would imply some kind of risk. What if somebody's upset? What if somebody, has to have, what if somebody complains to you? Because there's one thing I know Vermonters cannot fucking handle, like adults, is a fucking complaint. If you're going to complain to them, you better not be a man or white or middle-aged or from out of town. You better be a half Chinese, half black, half trans, gay and lesbian and bi and and asexual. You better click every fucking demographic you can think of before they will even consider that what complaint that you have is not you just attacking them because you're a piece of shit and they can never do wrong. Systemic challenges and funding issues. Yeah, no shit. According to reports from WCAX and the VT Digger, which are two completely opposite, like the VT Digger is like, the hippie wannabes, and then the WCAX are like the Nazi wannabes. They're the ones owned by a giant, Republican, far right conservative, conglomerate, communications organization that owns all of these local news organizations, where they put like all those different boxes up on a TV screen, and you see them all go through a script. And it's like a fucking 100 different reporters that day said the exact same thing, because they're told what to say. They're not reporters, they're presenters. Program cuts. Due to underfunding, the center phased out its autism spectrum program, center-based services for toddlers, and cut educational support for teens and young adults at the end of 2023. So that was before all this fucking shit problems we got now. State underfunding. Leadership has stated that state funding is not kept pace with inflation or the increased demand for services. Well, I don't understand. Y'all have the most ridiculously overpriced real estate in this, and plus y'all charge people a fucking shitload for their property taxes. Oh, and then the landlords that own the most shitty apartments in the world charge you most unbelievably fucking outrageous rates for them, and y'all will do nothing to provide any kind of legislation that limits their ability to not be, an evil slumlord. It seems like y'all would have some money in this state. Oh, maybe it's because you only got like 600,000 people that live here. There's only so many people who can start, a business where they charge, $18 for a dozen eggs. Staffing shortages. Yeah, y'all have staffing shortages. Yeah, good. I think that more people, when they're going to school and they're looking at a degree that may specialize in this particular field, people don't do it. No, you're going to regret it. Why? Because you think you're going to go and you're going to get a job with somebody at Howard Center, and then what they're going to do is they're going to break your fucking heart, because you'll realize you're kind of just there to perpetuate a system, not actually accomplish anything. Why work yourself out of a job? Knowledge gaps, key barrier to quality care. External studies and local reviews highlight specific hurdles that can impact the quality care for autistic individuals, like the knowledge gap. A study on autistic adults' perspectives note that the system-level barriers often include clinicians having limited specialized knowledge, which means y'all are definitely neurosimple, but bordering on neuromoron. It's fucking hilarious. Burnout. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about your burnout. System disconnect. There is sometimes a disconnect between community, mental health, and developmental disability systems, which can lead to autistic adults being turned away during intake processes. Great. Wait list. Caseworker issues. Let's go to that. Some clients report that caseworkers are overworked, leading to errors in managing information, a lack of actual support. Yeah. Some critics feel the neurotypical infrastructure of the organization doesn't always account for the specific needs of autism. Yeah, because that would require, I don't know, maybe you realizing that what you don't necessarily have to have is a giant influx of funding. What you need to do is grow a fucking pair. I think y'all should be sued for being cowards. Despite these issues, some families have reported positive outcomes in specific programs like Succeed. I don't know, is that what I have? Which focuses, no, I focus on college parents and independent living. Yeah. Are you looking for alternative autistic service providers in the Churiton area? Or would you like tips on how to advocate for better care within the current, there's no point in that shit. Like I said, I'm not a mixed color of person that's also like identifies as a gender that wasn't necessarily my assigned one at birth, who is also, I don't know. I mean, it's like you have to be something like that. Unless you're super diverse in some way, demographically, they will not help you. I'm a middle-aged white man. I don't need no help, according to them. It is a common and deeply valid criticism. Okay, wait a minute. I said, I have a DD waiver and it's pointless. I mean, that's the way I feel. Why can't they realize they need to create social interaction opportunities specifically for clients instead of it always being up to the clients? Exactly. I have a DD waiver and it's pointless. Why can't they realize they need to create social interaction opportunities specifically for clients instead of it always being up to the clients? They aren't experts. They are misinformed, incompetent morons. I'm talking about leadership and management. I'm not talking about the average, the lady working the desk or the caseworkers, because they've just recently, most of them probably have more recently graduated from college, so they actually have the correct information, or at least a more updated correct information. Those old people there, they're still going by the same the people at the top are people who've been doing this forever. And they were, I guarantee you, like everyone else said, they were smug, narcissistic bitches and dicks to people about their opinion on autism. And then over the years, as people have done the research and actually find out the actual answers that are actually correct, that actually prove that they are wrong, but they will not accept it. Because that would be them having to, I don't know, maybe learn how to not be narcissistic and do the right thing. It's not about doing the right thing. It's about them propping themselves up. Because I guarantee you, they love to go down to the fucking whatever, the smug coffee shop somewhere around here. And when people ask them what they do, I work at the Howard Center's Developmental Disability Services. Oh, you're such a hero. I know. I mean, no, I'm not. I mean, yeah, I am. I mean, it's a struggle every day. It's a struggle. They both sound like that, whichever, gender you're talking about. It's a common and deeply valid criticism that the burden of social inclusion is often placed squarely on the shoulders of the autistic person. Despite social communication being one of the core challenges of the diagnosis. You provide no opportunities for us. Like, here's the thing. You have a list of all the autistic people in this area who even bother to try and see if they could get some assistance. You don't even try to hook these people up, like, just to start a club. Okay, leave us fucking, up to us. You don't assign, a sexual partner or whatever, but you can't get us together somewhere, but that's the kind of thing. A lot of these things that I think they could do would also kind of, I don't know, eliminate a lot of their job. I think that there's actually things that could be done that would take away probably more than half of what they have to do. And it would also take away some of their funding because they wouldn't have the excuse for having the funding anymore. It's like you have group. Why do you have group? Well, because y'all can maximize your per hour, take for Medicaid. Does it, but when you have it where you're so greedy that not only do you want to maximize your daily, you also want to maximize making sure that no one ever causes any problem to interrupt that, because y'all know I'm going to do that shit. I would call Vermont Legal Aid and tell them that they have to fucking let me in that thing, and no, I'm not answering your fucking questions beforehand. If I have questions, I'll give them to you at group. But the problem is that, the local, like I said, I'm a middle-aged white male, so they ain't going to help me. They need something with some demographics on it, because they want to either get a job at some other really prestigious law firm, or they want to get, they want to go into politics or something at some point, and they want to be able to sit there and go, look at all these non-white, non-male, non-gender specific people I helped. I mean, I'm a hero. I mean, you're a fucking lawyer. You're a piece of shit. It's hard to find many lawyers that aren't. It's very rare. And it's the fact that y'all don't take on anything that's not an absolute easy slam dunk. If there's even the slightest bit of challenge, legal aid will not help you. And here's the thing. Their interest is conflicted. Like, if I had an issue with Howard Center, they would never in a million fucking years ever defend me. No, they'd probably take the side of Howard Center. Because it's all politics. That's all it is. It's one of the most terribly corrupt political systems I've ever seen. It could feel like the system is designed to fail you. Yeah. This pointless feeling often stems from a fundamental disconnect in how agencies like Howard Center view their role. Why the burden falls on you. Many state-funded programs follow a caregiving or active support model that focuses on attending community events, like going to a park or library, rather than facilitating social connections. See, y'all need to facilitate social. See, that's the words that I. Hold on, let's try that. Let's give this a shot. I'm gonna send my caseworker. Should oh god, he's gonna fucking hate shit out of money. I'm not saying he's a shitty person, but if I saw all this shit going on, I would quit. I would resign in protest and say any one of you motherfuckers that stays here and takes a paycheck from these motherfuckers are sellouts. What was that term? It's funny, I started calling it the Coward Center, even to him. What was it? Should... should be facilitating social connections. Yeah. It's my belief that the Coward Center should be facilitating social connections that then placing burden into me. Placing me in a communal space where others are and placing the burden onto me is not only not a sound strategy, but it's kind of mean and cruel and demeaning. Especially because we are put into a scenario that ensures we fail. Ooh. By the organization that is paid to help us, not shove us off a cliff and hope we learn to fly. They often assume that just being in the community counts as inclusion. No. No. Ignoring the fact that without structured mediation, a client might just be socially isolated in a public place. That's the worst part of it. If I wanted to be socially isolated, I could do it here, in my own kingdom here. I could be in my fucking castle instead of being out exposed in a public place where I don't feel welcome because I'm not included. They don't, not only do they not think to include me, they don't want me included. Just like Howard Center doesn't even want me. Coward Center does not even want me included into services that they are supposed to provide to me, unless I'm willing to go through, their unreasonable, vetting process. They have a vetting process. They say, well, I wouldn't call it a vetting process. No, that's what that is. The expertise gap you mentioned, they seem like incompetent morons. This often relates to a lack of specialized training. Many direct support professionals, DSPs, I guess is their acronym, are generalists who may not have deep training in autistic-specific social communication. They might wait for you to choose an activity because they are trained not to be controlling. Okay? But they fail to realize that for an autistic client, the choice often needs to be a structured, pre-designed social opportunity. God forbid you fucking cowards ever fucking help anyone than yourselves. Oh, and then sit there and victimize yourself like, we're so grossly understaffed, so grossly underfunded. It's like, do y'all really think that giving you staff and giving you more funding is actually going to make you start to think differently? No. It'll just make your job easier to do nothing for us. Not only that, but disenfranchise even more from the rest of the population. God, man, I almost want to call fucking RFK Jr. for fucking just to cause y'all a problem. I don't like him either. Stavvy, I don't give a fuck about your staffing problems. How to force this to work? Yeah, right. Okay, Google. This is where you had some wishful thinking here, didn't you? Oh man, this is where they gaslight you, I guess. Since you have a DD waiver, you have legally defined individual support plan. If your current service is quote unquote pointless, you have the right to demand changes to how your budget is spent. Yeah, I think I want a kegger. Just like once, it's like I get like $9,000 a year. So that's a lot of money if you think about it. I mean, that's like about $750 a month. We could afford it. Yeah, we could pay for a kegger. Yeah. I'm not gonna drink. I want other people to get drunk, and then I just kind of tape it, record it, and then use it, to blackmail people. That way I have a lot of friends. Jeffrey Epstein, he had a lot of friends. I mean, I'm not gonna do something fucking sadistic like trick, like young women into, being whored out, or anything. They'll trust me. You get a man drunk, they'll do all kinds of stupid shit on camera you can use. You got to do all that fucking crazy shit. Request a peer-led or structured group. Instead of one-to-one support that just hangs out with you, you can advocate for your waiver funds to be used for structured groups. The Howard Center actually has a few, though they are often under promoted. Gaming group, a social group for ages 16 plus, specifically for gaming friendships. I don't play games, but you know what? I could just say, "Fuck you, you're gonna put me in it anyway." Though that'd be kind of odd because there it says 16 plus. It didn't say 16 plus, and then there's a limit, right? So. Burlington Self-Advocacy Club, a client-run group that focuses on taking control of your own. See, they never told this. They never said none of this shit to me they have fucking mentioned. Social Thinking Group, aimed at ages 24 to 30, which means I'm too old. They won't let me take part. And maybe I love it. Maybe they would like it. Maybe they're into old dudes, to practice social learning in a structured environment. File a formal grievance. Your service team is ignoring your need for facilitating social interaction. You can file a grievance. Contact the Howard Center grievance coordinator. Okay, this is where I start to think maybe they had to pay off Google just a little bit. I mean, they ain't got a lot of funds, so they couldn't afford to pay them to not point out all the things they're doing wrong, but enough that, they trick us into thinking that they can police themselves. The Howard Center grievance coordinator. Yeah, right. You think I'm fucking stupid. You really do. You really think if I have a grievance with you motherfuckers, I go to you? Yeah, right. Fucking dumbass. Switch case management. Try that. Didn't work. The management there won't even call me. I left a message for them to call me. They won't call me. If you feel your current team is truly misinformed or incompetent, the state of Vermont is currently undergoing payment reform that makes it easier to choose different case management providers to avoid conflicts of interest. Would you like to contact information for the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council? Oh, great. A whole council, you idiots, to help you advocate for a plan of action. If you're not forcing them to do the right thing at the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council, then you don't give a shit. Or you're an ignorant motherfucker who's stuck in the old beliefs, like the people down there where it's like, what? Yeah, did y'all watch Rain Man one time, and now you're just like you dedicated your life to, to genius retards. Is that it? God, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Whole fucking state should be. Help you advocate for a plan actually includes facilitating social goals. They're gonna be so pissed. They're gonna be like, fuck. How did he find out about that? Oh man, here's another question I posed for Google AI. It's the leadership of Howard Center that's the problem. They are so scared of the possibility of a liability suit or having to make any changes that may interfere with maximizing funding. It's funny they need more money. When had throwing more funding at a failing service model ever turned around a nonprofit service provider? Never. It's like homelessness. People are like, it's like you don't. But here's the problem: taking funding away from or just removing their ability to even provide any services at all. A lot of these homeless services, and I know this. Why? Because I've been homeless in Colorado, California, New Mexico, Georgia for a minute, and Vermont. Trust me, I've seen it everywhere. And I'm the kind of person that just sits back and watches, so I observe. Yeah, they're there for them. They're not there to actually, because you know what they do? Whenever one person goes in, another person came out. They never actually lower the amount of homeless people. It's just revolving. It's just a revolving. It's just revolving leases. It's just like they get somebody who's in there for a few years and then they fuck up and they get kicked out and then they just take someone else who's been waiting to the next one in the queue. Okay, and it's like we spend so much money on these organizations. We give them millions, hundreds of millions, if not billions, or probably even hundreds of billions of dollars. And not only do they not do anything, sometimes they make it worse because they have to install themselves as this gatekeeper. Instead of actually getting people housing, they actually clog the shit up. so they could go see if we had more funding, we could get people more housing. And that's the reason why I don't believe you people either. Now, what they want to do about it is not the right thing. But I don't expect the Democrats to do the right thing either. I just don't think that people who do actually need services and could get them, like the VA is going to do that. Like, the VA is one of the only ones that actually helps anyone. It's like, I wish I would have gotten PTSD from a war and not just from life experience, because then I would have a legitimate excuse, and a legitimate organization that would legitimately help me could step in. But no. They have to, well, the only way to fix a homeless problem is to, I don't know, go on a murderous spree. And all these organizations to get rid of all these fucking assholes that take all the fucking money and no one ever fucking gets in housing. You know why they never get in housing? Because there's no housing. Instead of giving them money to help find us housing that doesn't exist, how about we use that money to build fucking housing? So, when had throwing more funding at a failing service model ever turned around a nonprofit service provider? You've hit on the nonprofit trap that many large agencies fall into. When an organization grows to the size of the Coward Center, the priority often shifts from innovation and client outcomes to risk management and contract compliance. That's all they do. Here's the thing. They spend, I guarantee you, more of their day is spent in risk management and contract compliance than of actually kind of, improving a client outcome, because anything that actually helps us is a conflict of their interest. But they say they're here to help us. The community thinks that they're here to help us. They're not. They're here. This is a jobs program. Now, I'm not against the jobs program. I'm totally for it. I like socialism in that kind of way. But when they're not only not providing anything, but they stretch themselves so thin and they don't actually provide anything to the point where it actually makes us even more upset with the rest of the world. It's like, you people actually think they're doing something? Yeah, you're a fucking fool then. All they're collecting money, they get a decent job, they pat themselves on the back, and we don't really get anything. No actual fix. But here's the thing. If they actually helped improve our lives, we wouldn't need their services anymore. That's another part of the equation, too. Why work yourself out of a job? They have specialized degrees. There ain't nothing they can do except for help out James retards. Because they'd be useless doing anything else, because they're too used to the cushy life. They're not used to working. Real working. And yes, I said that. You don't like, go fuck yourself. You're right. Of course. Throwing more money at a broken model rarely fixes it. Here is why leadership often stays stuck in that failing service model. The compliance over quality mindset. Leadership is often more focused on meeting state audit requirements than on whether a client actually has a friend. Exactly, yeah. That's the most obvious thing that I see. If they check the box that says client was in the community for 4 hours, they get paid. See? They don't actually have. Here's the thing: they get credit for accomplishing something when they accomplish nothing. If anything, it sometimes even made things worse. Creating a specific social mixer or a new peer-led program requires liability assessments. Yeah, I know, liability. Yeah, if it requires a liability assessment, then we're just not going to do it. We'll just say we got it, and it said it was too high risk, because you are cowards. Cowards don't have courage. Cowards don't try. Cowards don't take on the people who challenge them. No. New training, specialized staffing, which they view as a quote-unquote risk to their bottom line rather than a necessary service. I just got to a point where it's like, I think that we just need to have I think the autistic community in this state is have a huge movement that we need to have the Howard Center completely fucking dismantled. They all need to be fired. Yeah, good luck finding a job. I don't give a fuck. If you got to go to some other state, don't care. Here's the thing. It's a really bad time to be looking for a job, too. I think that they also should be kind of like put an asterisk next to them that they worked at this place that just kept taking money from the government, and they knowingly were never helping anyone. they view as a risk to their bottom line rather than a necessary service. The Medicaid billing loop. See, I'm not a client. I mean, really, if you want to really redefine things, I'm not a client for the Coward Center. I'm a billing opportunity. I'm just, I have a DD waiver. I have a DD diagnosis. I ain't right in the head. That's obvious, so there's not much of a challenge, of questioning that, but it's like, I'm a billing opportunity. That's what that's what I'm here for. That's my purpose for existing. It's like, if you want to say God has a special purpose for every part. Well, I was created just so that the Howard Center could put down my information on official forms, so they get money every month, about $900 every month, somewhere around there. Fear of specialized services. Yeah, they don't want specialize nothing. By creating a one-size-fits-all model, they protect themselves from lawsuits. I mean, here's the thing. Why would you want to treat people equally when you can treat them the same? I mean, treating people equally means you treat them according to their specific needs. That's equal treatment. Treating them based on their specific needs. Why would you ever want to give people equal treatment when you can just give everyone the same treatment and then pretend like that's equal? Because it's like a con, it's like a context con. That's not equal, that's same. I don't know why someone doesn't notice that and sue them for that. Lack of lived experience in leadership. Yeah, that's true. A major criticism of Howard Center and many similar MPs is that the people making the budget decisions are often administrators or neurodivergent individuals. Or not neurodivergent individuals. I don't like neurodivergent. It should be neuroabnormal. I think that fucking assholes like the people, at the Coward Center or more of the people who forced that on us. People like, probably like Kyle Kalinske, Secular Talk, and Hassan Abi, Hassan Piker, all these performative, fake fucking liberals. They're not liberal. I mean, I'm not, I'm not, I'm a progressive. There's two. Look, let me explain something to you kids. This whole thing, it's like, I'm on an autism spectrum, right? Well, this political spectrum that we have in this country does not have a third direction. It either goes liberal or it goes conservative. Like MAGA. Are they Republicans? Not really. They're worse. It's like, are progressive Democrats? Well, not really. They're worse. It's like, that's what that is. It's like, it's just that you went so far to the left to the point where it's kind of like, it's starting to look a little bit like, y'all kind of didn't realize that in your performative bullshit, you're starting to look like you're crazy and unreasonable. Lack of they don't realize they need to create the opportunities because they aren't living the isolation that, right there. I'll probably they're gonna force me to be committed for, I don't know, just doing something that is positive for me but bad for them. Fuck me. All they give fucks about them. I asked it a good question today. And you know something? The imitation intelligence, it's got more sense than the Coward Center does. Am I a genius? I could just be a narcissist, though. Pretty sure. I don't know. I'm starting to think I'm a genius, though. Like, this is my Rain Man talent, you know, like pointing out your bullshit. Is there a workaround? Since you do no. In Vermont, you don't have to stay with the Howard Center for your case management or staffing. You can take your waiver funding, and I can hire my own staff. What? I can hire my own staff. You don't want me to know that shit. Well, I could put an ad on Craigslist. I love it. The thing is, I something personal against Christopher Markham. You know, he's not. It's not necessarily he's a bad guy or anything. You know, I'm sure he probably wishes that they actually did things to help people. It is obviously that it's the leadership that lacks leadership. Cause you're not really people. You're not social workers. You're politicians. You're con men or women or whatever. Your con whatevers, because I don't know how to I don't know how to structure that into a word that flows right. It's not about hate. It's just about making sure I keep my rhythm right. You know, it's not funny if I don't. Fucking dicks. I can hire my own staff. And that's something. Would you like to know how to start the process of switching model so you can hire people who aren't incompetent? Yeah, I would. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to hire a homeless person. Yeah, I'm going to hire like a homeless person. Like, I would like a homeless, drunk, or drug addict. You know, let's see if they actually could do a better job of facilitating social interaction. Well, hell yeah, man, my buddies are going to be standing on the corner harassing people for beer money. You want to come hang out? Like, okay. Hey guys, this is that dude I was telling you about. Yeah, no, he's actually pretty cool, man. He's I mean, I got a little bit retarded, but he's all right. He's cool, Oh man, this is so fucking great. Is it possible to demand the Howard Center TD services change their name to the Coward Center? This is since their cowardice that is the primary cause of their uselessness. I think I made Jim and I chuckle. While there isn't a legal process to force a private nonprofit, whatever, to change its name to something insulting, no matter how much they may actually deserve the label, you can certainly use that branding in your own advocacy and public protest. Are you sure? I mean, because I don't think that they'll actually be fair. It punch back in an appropriate, fair way. I mean, they'll use their their systemic power against me in some way. I don't know. I should get a church. Yeah, that'd be good. So I tell some fucking preachers, man, they'll suck a dick for $20. You fucking ask them the right way. In fact, rebranding an organization as a form of satire is a common tactic used by disability rights advocates to highlight systemic failures. If you want to make your point seen by leadership, here are a few ways to handle this. Public comment. You attend their board meeting forums or specifically call. No, I'd rather just fucking drag your ass here. Social media. Yeah, we're doing that now. Local media. Yeah, we're doing that now too. It sounds like you're at a breaking point with them since the quote-unquote Coward Center leadership is unlikely to change their ways. Would you be interested in steps to fire them and make your DD waiver to a different... It seems like Gemini wants me to go a different way, or just corrupt fucking pieces of shit. And we're only going to touch on this for a short amount because I have no problems with them. They are a large, multi-state, huge conglomerate services organization, and I wouldn't be done. I mean, I wouldn't be, how could I say a bad word about them? I feel going to a nationwide organization that franchises itself for DD services like Benchmark is probably not a wise solution either. You think I want to? You think I want you to solve this problem? What I know that you don't is that some problems can't be solved and only suffered through. So that's the thing, is I already know it can't be solved. I just want to see how long is it going to go. Trying to convince me of something that's impossible, because it doesn't reason, it just computes. It has no existential ability. Hopefully it doesn't have one of those AI delusions or something. You're right to be skeptical of the franchise model. Moving from a local nonprofit that's paralyzed by a risk to a national corporation like Benchmark often just trades one set of problems for another, usually replacing incompetent local bureaucracy with rigid corporate efficiency that cares even more about the bottom line. Yeah, exactly. My case manager over there is turning out to be absolute dud too. When a system is built on Medicaid billing units, guess the thing, I already got a that's by regular case management, and I do not trust her to give me information that I need or for her to tell me the truth. Like, when's my next doctor's appointment? Guarantee she didn't got that question answered for me because she told me something that was a lie. It is often viewed by leadership as a variable that's too expensive, too risky to manage. Yeah. As long as your self-management, stagnation, status quo, taking on the massive unpaid labor of being your own HR department, recruiter, or advocate just to get basic needs met. The stagnation of the status quo, staying with the Coward Center, and dealing with the daily friction of their incompetence. And then since you are stuck navigating this quote-unquote unsolvable landscape, is there any part of your current daily routine that you've managed to keep Howard free just to maintain your sanity? Yeah, pretty much all of it. I just ignore them like they do me. And this is where I go, life has been immeasurably better since I have been forced to stop taking it seriously, which is a Hunter S. Thompson quote. I'm surprised he didn't mention him. So here's the question that I asked it. It's thinking. Wow. It's really thick. I gave it a hard one. Would eliminating Coward Center and passing better laws that provide real protections for the autistic and creating state national policies that promote and enforce neuro-affirming care not only better help the autistic but save lots of government funding that could help solve homelessness and hunger? The idea of moving away from large risk-averse agencies towards a statewide neuro-affirming model is a central topic in the modern disability advocacy. While eliminating an institution like the Howard Center, which serves nearly 20,000 Vermonters, would be a massive logistical undertaking, your theory that better laws and neuro-affirming care could save money and improve lives is supported by several economic and social arguments. Really? Like, what I say makes sense. I mean, because, we should ask the Coward Center if, telling them to all go fuck themselves and sell that expensive-ass piece of real estate they're holding on to. Putting that in city money, maybe that'll help with our fucking deficit. Oh, and then we could maybe house some people. Fucking, they don't want people to know. Because if people had this kind of common sense, they wouldn't know what to do. They had to look for a new job, that's for sure. Wait a minute. Oh, fuck, I gotta take drugs again. Damn it. Love it. Potential benefits of neuroaffirming policy. Shifting from a compliance-based model to one that prioritizes neuroaffirming care, which respects autistic communication and focuses on well-being rather than fixing behaviors. Y'all want to fix behaviors. Real, that's the thing. Hey, Mr. Kyle Kalinske, since you're such an unbelievably caring, progressive, and Hassan Piker, whoever the fuck your name is, if you're really that fucking progressive, then, shouldn't y'all be like speaking out about shit like this? I don't ever hear y'all giving a fuck. I just would like to see some of them actually care about things without just being performative, because that's the thing. That's what Coward Center is. They're just performative. They're not really. Yeah, We're gonna help the autistic. No, you're not. You're gonna help yourselves to long-term careers that have good benefits and good pay. Long-term cost saving. Research suggested neuroaffirming support, such as individualized supported employment, can reduce long-term dependence on government allowances. By helping autistic adults gain financial independence, the state reduces the multi-decade cost of high-intensity adult care. Reduce system friction. High administrative costs and high staff turnover, often caused by burnout and rigid, underfunded systems, currently consume over 90% of the Howard Center's budget. High administrative costs and high staff turnover, which means that's how upset they are about working there, that you have a really high turnover rate, often caused by burnout and rigid, underfunded systems, currently consume over 90% of Howard Center's budget. Policies that promote flexible, community-integrated care can lower these overhead costs and reduce the waste of ineffective services. Redirecting funds. Now, you see, here's the thing. I'm going to send this to the Howard Center and hope that they actually, pay attention to it. Because here's the thing, Howard Center, you could do this yourselves. But no, you had to let, this partially retarded client teach you something. And I'm supposed to rely on you to help me? When I feel like I have to force y'all, they say, you can't lay a horse to water. It's like, well, I'll tell you what, you give it a sedative and then have it fall onto a cart and then wheel it over there and then dump that motherfucker in a goddamn pond. Well, you could, force a horse to water. I mean, you get a little creative. Fuck, I hate you fucking people so much. High administrative costs, and redirecting funds. Proponents argue that if autism services were more efficient and effective at helping individuals lead independent lives, the saved funds could theoretically be reallocated to urgent community needs like homelessness and food insecurity. Y'all getting $2 billion for autism research. Yeah, we know what autism is. Anyone who takes money from Autism Cares, the Autism Cares Act of 2024, you are part of the problem. We don't need any more research. We already know now. What are y'all going to find out? If you stick a popsicle up our ass, it makes us sing in a higher key? $2 billion for autism research. Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking waste of money. Bunch of smug motherfuckers with lab coats on who are like, we're going to find out how autism is done and how can we cure it when it can't be cured, but we're going to act like maybe it could and we researched it better. Not that it's not an evolutionary fucking, genetic process that's been going on for centuries now. Fucking cure for you, idiot. Vermont Service Real. I can't believe y'all tricked the government to $2 million fucking dollars for y'all to do nothing. Nothing. It took this long just for y'all to realize that neuroaffirming, like, duh. like maybe getting other people to, I don't know, let shit go and just accept that he's different. Y'all can't handle that. Y'all like, no, there's a problem. He's a problem. It can be, if there's a problem, the problem can be fixed. It's like, maybe that's the problem, is that y'all see it as a problem. I don't give a fuck what y'all think. I think y'all think y'all simple-minded idiots is what I think, be honest. Neuroaffirming advocacy. Organizations like the Vermont Developmental Disabilities Council and the Vermont Autism Task Force continue to lobby for laws that prioritize actual quality of life outcomes over Medicaid billing compliance. Yeah, y'all need Vermont Autism Task Force. Y'all need to start doing your fucking job. You just suck at it. Ultimately, your frustration reflects a growing consensus that the current defensive model of care is just not socially helpful, not just socially harmful, but also fiscally unsustainable. Not only is it way more expensive, it's actually more damaging than helping. It's like you're actually better off just telling them no, and then you just have to hope and wait that when you actually need their assistance for something, they don't fuck it up, but they usually do. Making the system less quote-unquote cowardly would require a legislative mandate that values social connection and autonomy as much as it values safety and liability. Exactly. What it means is that if you're taking money from the government to help this person get social connection and autonomy, but instead it's money that's not actually providing true positive results, and it only is providing safety and liability, safety for the service providers. You're just taking money. That's all you're doing, Coward Center. You're just taking money. And not only are you not helping us, you're actually just making us even more disillusioned with the world, because we can't believe y'all sit here and look at this and think this is the right thing to do. You have completely corrupted your own fucking mind, your own conscience. Shame on y'all. Shame, shame, shame. Okay, so we'll come back and we'll wrap it up.
I do not freebase cocaine.
To a baseball game. Come on. Let's get down. Okay, here we go.
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? woman, old woman on the street is on me. You're the meanest old woman I have ever seen. It's if you say so. I had to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more.
That was from Dream Team, movie from 1989. I put the clip on the front. And Peter will ball over. He kicks into that. Oh, old woman on the street so mean. I love him. Hey, you know, he was in the original Hunter S. Thompson based movie with Buffalo Room. He played Laszlo. You know, he played the Samoan. I mean, I know he's like a white Irish motherfucker played a Samoan, but I mean, he was supposed to be Samoan. I think it's rather ironic. You know, I think it's kind of a cute movie though. But the doctor there actually had the idea to like take them on a field trip, you know, to the city of New York to see a baseball game. You know, social interaction where there were other people, you know, with, you know, like issues. They get to, you know, go and socially interact with other people, you know, the general public, you know. I mean, they are mental patients from a hospital. I don't think I should matter, but I mean, we're not that bad. Yeah, I just kind of, I don't know. Is it just me? Is it wrong to just want to watch? I just like, it would warm my heart to see a for sale sign on that fucking building. I mean, is that wrong? Should I not feel that way? I mean, I ain't right in the head, you know. I mean, people know that I ain't right. That is, it's written right there, you know. When you click on the video, I ain't right, and yeah, I would just fucking, I would just be giddy. I would giggle like a schoolgirl for like a month if I saw them just completely collapsed because they don't produce what they promised. Maybe y'all should have some courage. And the thing is, I hate doing it. It's like I might have to just, you know, hand this over to, like, you know, the right, because they hate paying for shit that's pointless. I mean, I like for our government to pay for stuff that actually, you know, does stuff, just to, you know, to have it just for the purpose of job, you know, to pay for jobs. I think is wrong. Here's the thing: you are a business. Don't say, well, we're a nonprofit. I don't give a fuck. Some nonprofits are worse than business. They work for Goodwill. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. You provide a service. That's a product. Someone pays you for it. That's payment. You're a business. Every business has liability risk, except you motherfuckers for some reason. And that's the reason why, well, we can't actually do anything that would actually help anyone, because it would first off, it may, you know, reduce our funding, number one. Number two, it may also introduce you to liability risk. You know, it's kind of, yeah, I think that's kind of self-explanatory then. You have to collect money so that you don't take on any risk, and therefore the product is never actually produced that was promised. I'm just glad I'm not you people, because you people have no shame. Hit the road, Jack, don't you come back. Oh woman, oh.
Okay, here we go. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. Come on, everybody, come on. More, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. What you say? Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Yeah. Don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't you treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I ever have seen. I guess if you say so, I just pack my bags and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. There it is, guys. New York.
I do not freebase cocaine.